Okay. And then looking at just, has anybody heard of the Just Rose Girl Spa? So the Just Rose Girl Spa is the actual picture that you all see. They are right off the corner of 5th and Lake Street. This new lady opened in 2023. She is open for special parties. She's open for special events. She's open for after-school programs. She really just wants to have a spa space. So they do finger painting. They do canvas painting, they do the nail technician life, they do the mani pedicures, they do sitting down in chairs. So it's a really pretty spot directly across from a big lake, directly across from Stairway to the Stars.
So they'll be open in 15 minutes. I'll go over there. So they actually
I'm break and show so they can get one of these videos.
we got
This was the video that we were trying to show at the beginning.
Whether you're a family, young professional, entrepreneur, or senior citizen, we have opportunities from our historic home to our robust business plan, Jacksonville engagement. We have accessible programs and your insurance methodologies. We make it work together. To provide and offer quality life.
That's the Airbnb, right?
So that's one of our videos that comes from a company called CGI. We were selected to have those videos actually done for free. So there's 6 different videos in the presentation that we're going to play at different times. But this was a grant that was provided to us, and couldn't be more happy to be able to show you and highlight everything that's going on today. Now, different developments. The one piece, as you all see, we do have New Era right in that for us. So one of the second quarter openings has already taken place, which is New Era again. They have a time right there in the back. Shell gas station is on 3rd, 2nd, Roosevelt. So they are working on trying to be open within the 3rd quarter of this year. Who's all going to the Starbucks opening tomorrow? So Starbucks actually opens at 10 a.m. as the grand opening tomorrow morning. So everyone who loves Starbucks knows to be able to walk right up the street for their Starbucks in the morning. Exclusive Lounge is set to be open next month. Their goal is to be open by Father's Day. So we look forward to that ribbon cutting as well. S&D Spa Studio is a new concept where they have purchased a large space that they convert into individual spaces. So if a person wants to be a hairstylist, they will have their own personal thing. If a person wanted to say that they are a hair braider, or if they're an esthetician, or if they do wax removals, if anything that they want to have a personalized room instead of a moving environment, they'll be able to rent a specific room that they'll have their own lock and key. So Spa Studios is looking to be open by July or August. And then Yours Bistro Cafe, where we all just got our apple pie, or you tried, what was the name? Rice bowls and apple pie. So their goal is to be open by the end of June, early July as well. One of the biggest things that we're excited about going into the remainder of the year is we have a Chamber of Commerce that took some time off for, I guess, a long time off. And we've been working with them, and there was a strategic session we did where we're working on what is the next phase and how can the Village of Maywood and the Chamber of Commerce work together in a collaborative way to truly move the Village of Maywood forward. So we'll be consistently coming out with new updates in regards to that, looking forward to their strategic plan being done and making sure that we have a good partner in our Chamber of Commerce moving forward. Right now, Summer is their new chair. She's working on updating the website, updating paperwork, updating business directories and different things like that. So look out for more to come in regards to the chamber. One of the other things that we're really able to happy to celebrate is the Village of Maywood partners nationally with cities in regards to great cities and to great jobs. So Good Cities, Good Jobs is a program that focuses on workforce development. And within focusing on our workforce development, we've been very happy and fortunate and blessed to have an organization by the name of Liberty. One of their directors, Asia Alvey, is right there in the audience today, and she is homegrown from the Village of Maywood. Liberty has been in the community for about almost 2 years now. They do 3 different workforce development programs within the Village of Maywood. 2 of their programs are for 16 to 24-year-olds, and then one of their programs is 18 and older with no age restrictions. You actually get paid to do different activities. You get paid to learn different trades. You take the certifications, but they also assist with job placement as well to make sure that you truly are set up for life. And they also do life skills development as well. Another thing that they are doing is they're opening a training facility here in the Village of Maywood. So right now they are under construction at 1010 Madison, directly across the street from the Family Dollar, and they are going to actually be having a training facility. Currently they're using the Life and Recreation Center, but we're looking forward to them opening and being able to do more training. Some of the flyers on their table are from Liberty, so if you have anyone that you know that wants to train, that wants to be certified, that wants to get any type of training, please make sure that you reach out to Asia and the team. Again, what they focus on is programming with Illinois Works. So they do OSHA certification training, forklift flagger, PES power, drone pilot, project management, ACI certification, aerial lifting training, crane operation certification, and then construction health and safety training and CDL. So that's one of the grants, and then the other one again does those same types of training, but that is for 16 to 24-year-olds. So I will play another one of the videos that we missed during the presentation.
We look forward together our religious experience, exciting growth and development throughout the year. Several construction projects are underway, including everything from bars and restaurants to grocery stores and entertainment businesses.
Hey, it's on.
Upgrading our downtown district with ideas in the works to boost business and recreation. With various new homes, local businesses popping up, residents and visitors alike can witness the community's growth firsthand and be a part of the action. This dynamic growth showcases Maywood's commitment to enhancing our quality of life and expanding economic opportunities. Live, work, and grow.
No.
So again, just one of those additional videos that are out, making sure that we are promoting the Village of Maywood and inspiring businesses and community and family members to come, live, work, and grow in the Village of Maywood. And going into the next thought process in regards to that, our environmental and infrastructure quality. So we have that picture right there to showcase, 1, alleys are actually being done, and 2, we are just consistently under construction, which is a beautiful and amazing thing. One of the biggest things that we're focused on in regards to environmental quality is our cross-community collaborative with C4. So C4 is a partnership with, over at this point, nearly 20 different communities, where we focus on different ways to have clean energy, sustainable future for our communities. So right now, we have a compost program that we're working with, launching within our elementary schools for our youth, because we know if the children learn, that they can teach to their parents, and we can learn composting. We are exploring programming in regards to solar installation. So we have some grants that will be coming out and being announced soon, where we'll be able to provide some financial assistance to get grants to get solar installed in your household. There's also a push and an assessment being done to make sure that some of our equipment that we're purchasing is energy efficient and not so gas efficient. So we're working on different grants to focus in regards to that as well. But also overall with our new building of facilities, as we look towards growing the Village of Maywood, as we look towards growing new homes, are we building them in the most energy efficient way? Are we building them in the most green, safe, efficient way? And these are things that C4, which is Cross-Community Collaborative, has been partnering with us on. They've focused on the various different disparities in regards to underserved and disadvantaged communities, and they've been a tremendous asset to the village of Maywood so far, and we look forward to rolling out a few more focuses with them coming as well very soon. The Village of Maywood also partners with the U.S. Conference of Mayors and the National League of Cities as we focus on different things that can bring progress and more equity to the Village of Maywood. So again, we have, as a village, been focused on our lead service lines because we know that those things need to get replaced. So we've been working with the federal government as well as the Department of Energy, as well as the Department of Transportation to make sure that we are able to get funding to not only replace roads, but also take care of the 100-year-old decayed infrastructure under those roads that we have in our homes. One of the big piece projects that we've been working on right now is a water sewer separation project along the expressway. So the water sewer separation project helps with that flow into your home, but it also, again, replaces those 100-year-old pipes that eliminate the lead service in those specific areas that we have, and then on top of that, it provides new roads that have not been paved and taken care of for decades. So we've been doing different community learning lessons so that they understand the different, what they would combine sewage equal versus what separated sewage equals. But then it also showcases and highlights what's going on in your community because there's a lot of construction going on and some people just like, I see the cranes, but what's actually happening. So look out for more community information that's going on. You'll see more construction going on this summer, and you'll see more construction coming as we drive. So a lot of times you'll see those pictures of being in Springfield or being in DC, and it's definitely to bring in things like our next announcement. So we've been working heavily in regards to our lead service lines and our water sewer separation. If we got all of our lead service lines and water sewer separations fixed, it's an over $150 million expense. We just received a letter last month, thanks to our speaker, Emmanuel Chris Welch, that we both have been working with Washington, D.C. on a federal level, that we have been awarded $25 million that will focus on, but it's really focused on our water sewer separation issue along the 290 that helps with the multi-phase project that we're working on right now. We started this process actually working with the National League of Cities through a grant called the Building Resilient Infrastructure for Communities grant. Initially, we were applying for $5 million. At the same time, IDOT was applying for funding as well, and we both got denied. So we're trying to figure out why we got denied. We went down to Springfield, had the conversation, and then we both went to, well, IDOT director went to Washington, D.C. We got into the meeting with Senator Dick Durbin, and they said if you all submit a joint application, it would help. So we worked the last year to do the joint application, and we got the award letter last month. Again, working with our big partnership with ComEd, we've been, again, focusing on not only our work with Maywood, but making sure that we are providing clean energy for our future homes and for our current homes, to our current businesses and for our future businesses as well. So we couldn't be happier with the partnership that we have with ComEd. And then I know everybody is in love with the brand new Washington Boulevard, right? The road has not been done for over 40 years. The infrastructure was over 100 years old. So thankful to God that we finally were able to secure all of the funding on, it took some county money, some state money, and some federal money to get this project done. So again, like I said, sometimes you guys will see happening a lot of different, mayors in DC. And Congressman Davis laughs about me all the time. He says, wherever there's a nickel, I'll find it. If it's in Springfield or it's in DC. So in working with their project, just to give you guys a thought process of what we've been able to accomplish over the last 3 years. And thinking about the last 3 years, we've replaced enough sidewalks to cover the entire turf of Soldier Field 3 times. We've replaced enough curb and gutter to reach the top of the Willis Tower more than 32 times. We've cleaned and televised enough sewer to the top of the height of Mount Everest. We've replaced enough water mains to extend nearly twice the length of the Brooklyn Bridge. We've paved enough tonnage of asphalt roadway to equal a herd of 8,400 gallons, and we've improved 8 different alleys. What does that look like? When we talk about 2021, we received various grant funding to get projects done. 2022, we pushed more to get more of our total cost of construction and various things done. Shooting more into 2023, plus into 2024, you'll see those grant funds have come in and been more aggressive. We've been applying for more. We've been having more conversations in Washington. We've been having more intentional conversations in Springfield. So in total, since 2021, we've done nearly $28 million in construction work for the village of Maywood. And $14,400,000 of that, $400,000 of that, has been grant funding that we do not have to retain. So that's over a 50% free money. But in thinking about what we have today and thinking about what we have for the future, because it's great to get the money today, but we also have to understand, again, all of the projects that need to be done in the village of Maywood is more like a $450 million price tag at this point. Because inflation increases the amount every year. So we go 15 to 20% up every year we don't have it. But thinking about past 2024, we've also been aggressively applying for grant funding. And when thinking about that standpoint, this should help make you guys see the bigger picture. There is a lot of grant funding that we're going after in the village of Maywood. And if you look at that bottom number, now we celebrated nearly 50% of grant funds. Right now, for the projects that we're trying to do all the way to 2028, you have grant funds in the amount of $11,400,000 for a total expense of $15,700,000. So that is well above the 50% that we've been at. So every year, we've been getting more and more grant awards, and we're going to continue to go for more and more grant awards because it's available to us. We just have to go seek it and go after it and ensure that we qualify for it. So these are actual grants awarded. Looking forward to announce even more grants. And the $25 million is not a part of that $11 million. In thinking about our overall thought process when it comes to access to care, one of our biggest pieces has been focusing on how do we become a better, healthier community. The village of Maywood not only is the highest tax community, but we have the lowest health rate in the West Suburban Cook County area. We have the highest rate of heart attacks. We have the highest rate of strokes. We have the lowest life expectancy. We have the highest rate of obesity. We have the highest rate of emergency visits for people who are having mental illness. So these are the things that we truly are trying to work on. But when thinking about that, before we get to that, there is a video to showcase, and the internet's working, so I don't have to make sure it goes to the next time.
And well-being drive, we welcome you to Maywood. Maywood is a true example of a healthy community. The health and well-being drive, we welcome you to Maywood. Maywood is a true example of a healthy community, offering its residents a variety of resources and opportunities to live a vibrant and fulfilling life. A healthy community starts with access to healthcare coverage, affordable quality housing, and community safety. Maywood ensures these elements are in place, giving its residents peace of mind and a strong foundation for a healthy life. Maywood values educational and economic opportunities, providing our residents with the tools they need to succeed. The community embraces environmental law, promotes healthy community design, and offers abundant parks, recreation opportunities, and cultural community. But we can't do it alone. Join us in making Maywood even healthier. Together, let's build a healthy community for everyone.
Okay, so back to thinking about access to health care. And thinking about access to health care, some of the bigger things that we've been focusing on right now is working with Congressman Jonathan Jackson in regards to gun violence, in regards to mental health. So we know that there's a lot of trauma that takes place from an early childhood standpoint. So we've been partnering with Congressman Jackson to make sure that we're focused on what are the best practices that need to be in place, but what are some legislative changes that need to be done from an early childhood standpoint all the way to a community safety standpoint. We just celebrated another healthy community health fair for Partners for Health in regards to the Quinn Center. And focusing on our children's behavioral health transition initiative. One of the great things that we're able to announce is today, last month, month before last, okay. Month before last, and working in partnership with Cook County, focusing on our putting the public health where they came to our public library. Cook County has awarded a 3-year grant of $675,000 to focus on positive behavioral intervention supports. And that money will go towards our during school programs, our after school programs, and our summer school programs, making sure that we have the services, resources, and counselors in place to work with them and make sure that they have a brighter future. We also will be making another announcement soon.
Don't make one ain't.
Federally Qualified Health Center. So we've been talking about the Federally Qualified Health Center for about 2 years now. Federally Qualified Health Center is a facility that will come into the village of Maywood as a full health resource facility for residents. We are partnering and working to establish the Federally Qualified Health Center on the corner of 5th and Washington, directly next to where the grocery store facility used to be and will soon be. Our partners have been Trinity Health, which owns Loyola. They funded the feasibility study. Our partner to make the Federally Qualified Health Center be established here in the village of Maywood is Christian Community Health Center that has multiple locations throughout the Chicagoland area. And IFF are the facilitators who have facilitated the feasibility study. When you look at the other organizations on the lower level, they are those that put into the feasibility study, thought process, and best practices what are needed, but also within the new facility, it will be some shared space where different organizations will be able to come in and provide resources in the shared space, and then there's also going to be some office space where some organizations that do not have a current home in the village of Maywood will be able to have a satellite location here in the village of Maywood and serve at different times. So right now within that process, there is a developer that is working with the general contractor, that is working with the federal government, and that is working with the state government, because it is a 46,000 square foot facility that is about a $30 million price tag. So we step back so they can step in, and they're doing the work, and I look forward to giving you guys updates coming soon. In the thought process of going towards food access, when we talk about food access, again, the village of Maywood is a food desert, so we're working to address that. But we also want to make sure that we're providing healthy options to our residents at the same time as we're providing food. So in thinking about it from that perspective, we've been able to partner with organizations such as Beyond Chicago's Dream, Real Food Collective, and working heavily with Living Fresh Market that's in Forest Park. So working with Living Fresh Forest Park location, they have agreed to purchase the Village of Maywood's grocery store. We advocated with the federal government and the state government to establish a grocery initiative. Last February, we went down to the governor's state of Illinois, where he announced the grocery initiative. We have now applied for $2.3 million, Living Fresh, in regards to getting the grocery store open on that behalf. They have also applied for an additional $957,000 of ARPA grant, which is the candidates' money that comes in from the state. So their goal is to be open by Thanksgiving this year. So if all goes well, we will be doing a ribbon cutting in the cold. But I'll be okay with that. We're also working with Real Food Collective this summer over next to the library. They'll be doing a food pantry, farm stand. So we'll be having a farm stand, so look out for updates coming to that. They should be launching that in June. Can't wait to look forward to it. They already provide services at the Point Center, and if you know anyone that's hungry, Sarah Lou is right over there. So Sarah, go ahead and raise your hand. You talking, Sarah? I was saying if anybody's hungry, raise your hand. So Sarah's over at the table one. Beyond Chicago Dream also will be providing a food locker. So a food locker will be placed in a location where people are able to come, punch in a code. If you guys have ever seen like an Amazon locker, or if you've ever seen like a UPS locker where instead of people having their packages put on their doorstep, it gets placed in the locker. So every day, 25 boxes of produce will be placed in a different locker. A specific family will have that code for that day. They'll be able to punch their code and get a fresh box of produce every day. And we will be feeding 125 families a week with that process. One of the biggest pieces that we've been able to focus on in regards to ending childhood hunger and working with Beyond Chicago Dream is the village of Maywood was selected as one of 16 communities in the nation to partner with the White House in regards to building healthy communities. So we actually were invited to the White House to join the White House of ending childhood hunger and building healthy communities. And we are focused on a lot of different initiatives through the Mayor's Alliance Network. And within that Alliance Network, it's a big focus on zero hunger and zero waste, which is why one of our biggest pieces have been focused on composting. So we're focused right now on composting in the schools, but soon we are working with our trash compactor vendor, LRS, to focus on composting for residential locations as well. So stay tuned for details in regards to that. When we think about zero hunger, zero waste, it's putting people first, making sure that they're fed, they're nourished, we're ending waste, we're inspiring change, we're advocating, helping to transform, collaborating to build a stronger community for our residents and for the community overall. So looking forward to providing more information in regards to food access coming very shortly. Now when we think about educational opportunities, what you guys see in this photo is about 100 of our youth who were taken down to Springfield. So this past year, we took nearly 300 youth to Springfield in 2 different trips to see our legislators. So when we think about educational opportunities, it's all about exposing our youth to different things and inspiring them to see beyond 60153. Love home, but definitely there's a whole world out there that we want to make sure that our kids are exposed to. And with that said, I'm going to showcase another video.
These youth engagement initiatives are part of
about a couple of different programs that we launched earlier this year. We took on the process, if anybody's familiar with President Barack Obama's My Brother's Keeper initiative. So it is a year-long process to go through becoming an official certified My Brother's Keeper facility or provider within the nation. Aside from the city of Chicago, the village of Maywood is the only My Brother's Keeper certified location out of all 1,300 communities in the state of Illinois. So, very good. One of the milestones is a third grader reading at third grade level by the time they get to third grade. So what we did back in February is we launched the My Brother's Keeper reading program, where we would come during the children's lunchtime. Different volunteers, whether it be police, fire, fraternities, or just regular everyday residents or citizens come. They are able to read to the youth, providing books. We bring the books. Some organizations donate even more books. There are different things that we're able to do with the kids, but for the older children, they also, the fourth and fifth graders, actually get different mentorships. So we'll bring college students in instead of the older adults during that time. So look out for more to come out. We have a lot of programs for this summer for My Brother's Keeper, and then looking towards to make it even bigger in the fall. One of our big things that we did last year also was we launched our Youth Leadership Council, and in launching of the Youth Leadership Council, we were able to take 14 of our youth to Atlanta, Georgia during the National Leaders Conference for youth delegation. And we work with these youth every day they're pretty much here. But they are amazing. They speak their mind. They let you know what you don't know, and they make you think about what you're not thinking about. So we will continue to work with our youth to make sure that they are not only the leadership of the future, but the leaders of today. What they focus on at the what they focus on here at the 200 building is the Exploring program, which is our focus in regards to our Career and Life Readiness initiative. The youth are exposed to 12 different components of career and life readiness. Is that my phone? That wasn't my written. But okay. So thinking about it from this standpoint, our youth are exposed to, again, the different career and life experiences. So when you're looking at the different pictures, these are all our youth. These are not Google searches. These are all experiences that our children are being exposed to. Taking different field trips, whether it be the Chicago Fire and Police Training Facility, going to Impact in regards to focusing on business and IT, healthcare, getting the various tours and exposure to the various aspects and various careers that are within healthcare, focusing on growth within aviation. They just all came back from an aviation day last Friday where they worked with Aerostar Aviation, which was actually founded by Maywood's own Tamara Holmes. Youth are exposed to skilled trades, social services, and science. And then they also receive different life skills investment as well. We also launched when we worked with the Scouts of America. And working with Scouting, there's also the program of mentoring that gets our kids outdoors, exploring the outdoors more. Last year they went to Star Rock, went out on the boat. Had a great time. This year we have some more trips planned for them to have an amazing time as well. Exposing our youth to STEM, and then just also making sure that we're pouring into them through the initiative that they call Restoring the Village. Not only for middle school and high school students, we also provide the Cub Scouting. So Cub Scouts is K-5, and they meet at the Lightfoot Recreation Center every Friday at 7 o'clock. So their host has different trips, and they do different night outs. They just went and spent the night at the Science and Industry Museum. It's like an overnight trip. And then they, before that, they had like a camping trip where they were there for 2 days. So these kids get a lot of experience. But in thinking about the overall program, they get 12 different components of career and life experience, along with 15 different components of life skills development. So different speakers come in, or they take different trips, or they get different experiences that provide them great experiences. And thinking about our healthy community design. So from a healthy community design standpoint, we've been heavily focused on our Fifth Avenue corridor. So within our Fifth Avenue corridor, we did have several meetings where we focused on what do we want design to look like from Quincy all the way to Lake Street. So Quincy to Lake Street, we received a grant from the state in regards to $2.25 million to focus on revitalizing our commercial downtown district. In revitalizing our commercial downtown district, what we're looking at is different aesthetics for storefronts. We're looking at a cohesive look when you look there and drive down the street. New lighting to be placed in it. We're applying right now for free Wi-Fi along the commercial corridor. And just different opportunities that bring new business to the commercial corridor. So it's a great opportunity for us. Within healthy community design, the other piece that we wanted to make sure is that our residents are involved in this experience as well. So a big piece about being involved in this experience is making sure when we do have something that is an issue within the village of Maywood, that a resource is quickly available. So, in a show of hands, who uses the My Civic app? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In fact, I'm able to count. It's a problem. If you have anything you want to report, it can be a pothole, it can be a dead tree, it can be anything that you have an issue with within the village of Maywood. You can download the My Civic app and report it. You can report it anonymously, or you can report it by giving your information. When you download the app, all you do is pick up your phone, you go to the Google store, or you go to the Apple store, and you simply type in the Village of Maywood. When you type in the Village of Maywood, you'll see the app, and whatever issues you may have that you need to report, there is nothing that you cannot report in the My Civic app. And you can take photos of the issue so that you can describe it and explain it in real time. And if someone has a question, regardless of if you reported it anonymously or if you reported it as an overall person that you want to be notified, they can message you inside of the app to get more clarity or let you know, and you'll get an alert when it's been closed out. And if it's been closed out but not addressed, you can open it back up. And they talk about this every week in the directors' meetings, and every time you submit something, based on what department it goes to, the department head receives an alert. So again, if you simply pick up your phone, go to the My Civic app in the My Apple Store or the My Play Store, and just type Village of Maywood. You can report any issue. Now, if you don't want to report it in your phone, Ms. Banks hates when I do this, you can always pick up the phone and call 450-6366. And our Director of Community Engagement, Ms. Banks, go ahead and raise your hand. You'll definitely be able to take what's going on and be able to handle that for you if you so choose to call Ms. Banks. She loves to hear from our residents. Now, the biggest thing we talk about community design that I feel like is a component that's sometimes missed when we talk about community design is our Public Works Department. So our Public Works Department has purchased, over the last 3 years, almost $1.5 to $2 million worth of equipment without raising property taxes to make sure that the work that they're doing, we don't have to call a third-party company for. Sometimes we'll get deals with third-party companies that will be 2 or 3 times the amount of what it would have been if they had to just handle it in-house. So we're purchasing the different equipment and tools that they need to be able to go out there and be ready and available as our own project managers, as our own people working within the community versus calling other companies. Now to look at our parks and recreation, thinking about our park and recreation, for real quick, just to let you guys know, we have parks that we own, and then we have 2 facilities that we own. Now we know that there were issues, or are issues, that go on with our parks, such as broken benches, poorly maintained equipment, nothing there at all, graffiti, broken fence lines, weeds instead of mulch, and just overall, multiple of our parks are over 20 years old. Now what we have done with 4 of our parks is during the month of May, we've installed new parks and we're still working on them right now. So with that said, we installed a brand new park at the top lot. So the top lot installation is almost done. We've installed the park, we've installed new swings, and from that point, that's on 4th and Huron. So those families will be able to play at that park. We'll have a celebration debut when the park's ready. so that everyone can come out and see it and be able to celebrate. We also installed a new park at Lexington Park. So Lexington is on 21st and Lexington. So this is a brand new park that we have installed. And again, new swings have been installed. And as you can see, the weeds and the dirt are gone and the mulch is in. The Center Park we installed on 5th and Lexington. So this is another brand new park that's been installed in the village of Maywood. And then we also installed a brand new park at Waterworks, which is 9th and Legion. So we have a great opportunity to continue to grow. We are focused on 2 additional parks, and soon our dog park hopefully will be done and installed within the next month or so. And thinking about social and cultural cohesion, there is time for a video once more.
In our culturally rich community, the value of community organizations improves our quality of life by the interest and spirit of organizations as whole. Community organizations like the Hampton House, PLCCA, and the West Town Museum of Cultural History, along with our various historic churches and organizations, provide opportunities for friends and neighbors to get back, get involved, and come together while getting a sense of pride for our community they all share. Contact your community organization today and discover the contribution you can make through your participation and support.
Alright. So I'm thinking about from the cultural social cohesion focus that we've been working on, it is a big deal that we just came off of Village Pride Village Wide, so thank you for all of those who participated. This is what we do on an annual basis. If you look a couple of years ago, it used to be about picking up a lot of trash. This last one was about planting flowers, painting, putting in mulch, and doing different activities that truly beautify the community, not just clean it up. So we're looking forward to doing even more of those projects in the future. We also have the Holistic Wellness and Juneteenth Festival that's coming up on June 8th, and that'll be at Proviso East this year, so look out for that. The Caribbean Heritage Month, we launched that last year to focus on Caribbean heritage, so that'll be June 29th, and that'll be at the Park District on 9th and Madison, so that'll be another fun day. We also do the Inspire Fest, which is in July, and that focuses on the spiritual, emotional, occupational, intellectual, environmental, financial, social, and physical upliftment for everyone. So look out for that event that will be taking place on the last Saturday in July. And I know everybody is excited for Maywood Fest this year. So Maywood Fest this year, we are bringing the carnival back. So we do have the carnival coming. We have different entertainment coming. Our chief of police, who loves his car, will also be helping with the car show. So the car show will be even bigger this year. He's got some great plans for it, so we're looking out for that. A couple other things that we've been implementing. Last year we focused on the shrine of Our Lady Guadalupe. This is something that they do, a pilgrimage where they walk from the village of Maywood all the way over to River Forest of the Plains to celebrate the shrine of Our Lady Guadalupe. And then we also again will be celebrating the National Hispanic Heritage Month this year. Big piece that we've been focusing on is our partnership with Chairman Fred Hampton. Chairman Fred Hampton, so for those who know, Fred Hampton Sr. is one of the founders or chairman of the Chicago chapter for the Black Panther Party. He was assassinated. He is a resident, or he was a resident of the village of Maywood. His home is still here. We are working with the Hampton Foundation right now for that home to become a historic landmark. The village of Maywood is made a historic landmark, and Senator Lightfoot has gotten $250,000 awarded to the home to make it an actual museum. So look out for that to be coming soon as we look forward to celebrate that. Another piece that we think about from, I guess I say, a social and cultural thought process are our seniors. So when we think about aging friendly and place seniors, and we think about making sure that our seniors have different activities. This highlights that a lot of times when we go and we have conversations with the seniors, we go to meet seniors where they are, but then we also have different activities with them. So 2 weeks ago, we went to Saginaw in Michigan, where we did a day trip that the seniors had us out of in the streets from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. at night. We stopped at 4 different venue locations where they were able to do farming, they were able to go to a winery, they were able to go to an Amish place to get Amish eggs and syrup, and then downtown Saginaw, they were able to go to the restaurant, walk around on the lakefront, but just to enjoy life and to get out of the community and making sure that they're just not sitting at home. So we have activities at the Maywood Park District every day, Monday through Friday, and there's also a meal for our seniors every day at the Maywood Park District, Monday through Friday. That is a grant that we received from Age Options. So if you know a senior or if you are a senior that has not participated in one of the programs that takes place at the Maywood Park District, you're missing out. So please make sure that you go and enjoy it. Also, the other piece that we're working on is our partnership with the Westtown Museum Operation. How many people have been to Westtown Museum before? 1, 2. See, that's nothing. We got so now I see a lot of seniors that have never been to Westtown. We'll do a field trip to Westtown. That's the next trip. Westtown Museum is one of those hidden gems right here in the village of Maywood that we have to make sure that we're able to support. Westtown Museum is on 5th and St. Charles. In partnership with Operation Uplift. It is a two-story museum that provides you a wealth of knowledge in regards to the village of Maywood and provides the township with a great piece of history that you really will be able to find nowhere else. This is one of the hidden gems that is here in the village of Maywood that is in no other town that provides a township. So we have to make sure that we're exposing our youth, but now I realize we have to expose our seniors to it as well. So we got to get a field trip. All right, almost wrapping up and thinking about transportation options. Right now, if you guys see their signage on First Avenue at the rail station, we have been selected by Create Illinois. So Create is the Chicago Region Environmental and Transportation Efficiency Program. The Create program is doing a study right now for First Avenue for a railroad project. Initially, they started the project looking at First Avenue or Fifth Avenue for an underpass or underpass. Eventually we selected First Avenue. So right now, if you drive past First Avenue, it'll be shut down for like 4 or 5 days coming up as they're doing some road work, but they're also doing some testing of samples because we're looking at is it best to put an underpass or an overpass over there. The thing that I ask people to keep in mind is it took the village of Maywood 30 years to get 25th Avenue, so this is not a project that we did overnight. It did, because how long did it took? So we are looking at not, like if we just slice that in half, it would be great, but even the feasibility study itself is a 3-year project. So this is not something that's going to change overnight, but we are also fighting on the legislative level, on a federal level, with, because I'm on the legislative committee for National League of Cities as well, in regards to allowing the train cars to have solely trained cars in one car. Because it's not that the train is the issue, so much as it is the excessiveness of the cars that are on the trains. So we are working on federal legislation to change that. But look out for more updates in regards to underpass or overpass coming to Maywood someday, which will help economic growth, have fewer delays, have cost savings, and then focus on sustainability and reduce our congestion. We are still working with the Des Plaines River Trail in regards to their expansion. So there were 4 different options of how to expand bikage from the parade path, but extending it. So look out for a report coming out from that study. They are working through the feasibility study to publish and give us our final selection of the route that they have chosen based on the different input that we provided. Cook County has a bike plan that focuses on at least 230 miles of biking throughout Cook County. So that plan is out and published. If you just type Cook County Bike Plan, if you would like to read it, it is a big plan going on to encourage people to focus on bike riding and focus in regards to transitioning a lot more from riding to driving the car. There is a plan action for regional transit. This was just released. We worked with this through the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus and the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning. There is a regional planning approach that deals with not only Cook County, but goes into Kane County, goes into DuPage County, that encourages more transportation use in regards to rail. And then there's also a big push to start electric rail. So there'll be a lot coming out and a lot of information coming out from there. And thinking from a social justice standpoint, one of the biggest pieces that we've been focused on in the village of Maywood is understanding that if you look at 1887 to 1950, there was a restricted covenant zone, which is where the area that Black people could only live. And focusing on that, there was also over 65 businesses within that commercial corridor that not a single one of them exists today. So what we've done is we've partnered with National League of Cities to focus on inclusive entrepreneurship commitments, focusing on venture capital for Black-owned firms, and then mapping entrepreneurial resources. So we will be mapping entrepreneurial resources in regards to focusing on Black businesses through an opportunity portal to encourage business growth, not only in the village of Maywood, but throughout the entire Cook County area. We've been working with Liberty Bank in regards to the entrepreneurial program. So Liberty Bank is the largest Black-owned bank in the nation. They have a location based in Forest Park. So they'll be rolling out some different business programs coming to us very soon. And even though it's a commitment to focus on the growth of Black businesses, this is an opportunity that will be open to everyone. So everybody will be able to benefit from the program and the resources that Liberty Bank will be bringing to the village. Our big piece in regards to social justice is focusing on cities addressing fees and fines equitably. And thinking about fees and fines equitably, what we focused on was our biggest fee and fine, which was our property taxes. So again, this was the partnership with Chase Bank and National League of Cities, where we did a case study over the last 15 to 20 years of loss of Black wealth due to, for no other reason, but property taxes and homes being lost to the inability to pay the property taxes. And what we looked at in the study was from annual tax sale, when the annual tax sales of Cook County first started. So when we look at 2022 to 2012 to 2014, when you think about Proviso Township of all 14 communities, 41% of the homes sold in the tax sale were Village of Maywood homes. That's $4.8 million that were sold in just 2 tax sale seasons. We were the highest. Now when you think about, that's just Proviso Township. When you think about Cook County overall, that $4.8 million was 4.6%, so nearly 5% of all of the sales of all of Cook County were the Village of Maywood. So when you think about it from a breakdown standpoint, when you look at the census, approximately 86% of the residents of the Village of Maywood were African American in 2010. Based on the Cook County sales, 710 parcels were sold, and 611 of those parcels were owned by African Americans in the Village of Maywood. So based on those 611, that was a total of $7,884,362. So this is wealth that, again, we focused on generational wealth loss through Black people. So we do have programming that also is being launched in partnership with Black Men United in regards to a homeownership series. There are a lot of other pieces of things that we're putting through from a legislative standpoint and about to push through on a policy standpoint. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Justice 40 is something that we are working on in regards with the federal government and working in partnership with the federal government. Justice 40 says from the infrastructure bill that was announced, at least 40% of those funds have to go to underserved, disadvantaged communities. So there are 144 different agencies that the infrastructure bill funding has been broken down into that provides resources and provides funding. So we are working heavily with the federal government in partnership with National League of Cities to make sure that we're able to make sure we get our chunk of the pie, because we check mark literally nearly every box on underserved and disadvantaged. So while we are still in those check boxes, we want to make sure that we're getting those resources. Other aspects that are happening for us is focusing on reentry reform, because the Village of Maywood for the west suburban area has the highest level of reentry for those that are coming back from being into the system and coming back home. So we are working with the ex-cons for community and social change in regards to that acceptance. They did programming at the Lyford Recreation Center, and then they also help focus on expungements as well for those who need expungements. To wrap up, a lot of this work has been done in partnership and working with the Illinois Black Caucus of local elected officials, which I am the president of, and then working with a series called Broken Community Summit, where we've been working with state legislators elected officials, aldermen, committeemen, commissioners, in addressing the areas of social justice, economics, public safety, housing, infrastructure, and education. And I could not thank being a part of National League of Cities and Rest of the Board of Directors enough. I know you guys heard me say National League of Cities a lot today, but thinking about saying a lot in regards to National League of Cities is because they do a lot. They've been very beneficial to the village of Maywood, and we continue to utilize them and their money to the best of our abilities. So, when everybody says, what's next? So, thinking about what's coming next, we are going to continue to focus on bringing a federally qualified health center to the village of Maywood. We are going to continue to work with Living Fresh to make sure that they actually do get to ribbon cutting status. We are going to continue our feasibility study of our Maywood Community Civic Campus, where we are looking at putting the new Village Hall, new sports complex, and reimagining the 18 acres of land where the library sits on. And we'll continue, we talk about that as a part of conversations and feasibilities that we've been doing. Again, looking at where the new Village Hall will be, looking at where the new police station will be, exploring the possibility of a regional 911 center, exploring the possibility of a sports complex where the swimming pool will be on the inside, and reimagining our green space along with the parking deck is when we think about this entire 18 acres of space is what we're focused on. So again, thinking about it from a sports complex thought process, we're also looking at our mobile crisis intervention response team. Even though we are double digits down in a lot of our crime, one of the things that are going up and consistently goes up is our domestic violence calls and our substance use users throughout the community. So mobile crisis intervention response team is something that we are looking to launch very soon and working in partnership with some of our agencies and organizations that will be able to help us in this journey, focusing on substance use as well as focusing in regards to mental health and domestic violence. We received various different grant funds. If everybody's familiar with the former ceasefire building along the parade path, we are right now working to get that facility up and running. Right now it's going through architectural renderings thought process, and then construction should be starting, and prayerfully we'll be able to open that soon as a resource to the community. The golf range we have agreed to sell. It should be opening soon as an entertainment venue that also will provide golfing, and they also are looking at putting a dome over it so that it can be used year-round. We're also looking for the third and fourth floor of this building, so this is the old Masonic Temple. 2 stories up is a grand theater that looks like 1916. It looks like nobody has touched it since 1916. So we're looking at about a $1.5 million restoration project, and once that is done, we'll be able to have plays and shows, and Maywood Fine Arts won't have to go out to Maywood to do shows anymore. We are going to be heavily focused on fire and emergency response, law enforcement, public safety personnel recruitment, because that is a big thing that we need in our communities. As people are not going into these fields as they were in the past, people are staying in the communities that they are raised in, so it's becoming harder and harder to recruit. So we are going to be creating programming from K through adulthood, from early childhood to adulthood, to recruit to go into these fields. We talked about a couple of parks. So Tim Park was one of those parks that we did not showcase as a new park being built, because right now we are working with a private funder to install and redo the entire reimagined space of Tim Park. So 10th of Washington, the goal is to create an area where tournaments can take place, provide parking, provide a walking path, have football games and baseball games you play on that facility. So we're working on that. We are also working on having the dog park design, so the park has been installed. But the dog park, there will be a large dog park and a small dog park. And that should be done in the next couple of months. So to wrap us up, the health of the community is dependent not only upon the genetics of its residents, but upon the environment within which those individuals live. A person's health is a product of their environment. As such, a healthy community is one in which all residents have access to a quality education, safe and healthy homes, adequate employment, transportation, physical activity, and nutrition, in addition to quality health care. Unhealthy communities lead to chronic disease, such as cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. The health of our communities is critical to the growth and development of our region, and to build healthy communities in Maywood, we must develop multi-sectoral collaborations between community members and stakeholders to ensure the sustainability and adequacy of resources to support comprehensive reform. So with that said, everybody look at your community calendar. There is more and a lot of things going on this summer. We have various things that will keep you involved and engaged. We most certainly are looking for volunteers. We are certainly looking for resources. We have a volunteer committee that is a part of the planning of all of these different events. So we look forward to learning more about that. And just as the last slide, and before we wrap up, is to let you know, again, this is a culmination of being a part and involved with all of these different entities that truly help move the village of Maywood forward. If there's any organization that wants to be a part of the things that we have going on that's not part of them, at the bottom you'll see the bit.ly/Healthy Maywood Partners. If you want to become a volunteer, there's the bit.ly/Healthy Maywood. And with that said, I thank you all so much for coming today. If you all have any questions, I'll stay here. So thank you all so much. There's still more